let's watch this clip right here, and then we're gonna call Prestige.
Is he still his manager?
So Prestige says he's never been his manager. There's so much confusion in this situation, guys.
They just need to both cut ties. Brazzy need to take a little bit of a break.
I try to come out and tell y'all something, bro. I do not fuck with that school Prestige, bro. I do not run that little Brazzy account like all that. Him talk about some, I'm not gang affiliated, this and that. I don't fuck with OTR no more. That's a damn lie, you feel me? I fuck with OTR to the death, you feel me? My mama, I fuck with all my Sues, you feel me? Fuck the North, I'm tripping off the back, you feel me? But I fuck with all my Sues, we outside, we on that, you.
Hey, my Sues.
Am I tripping, or did I not see the tattoo right there?
He has a face tat.
Oh, I know, but I didn't see it in that video.
Look at this. Look at this.
Maybe it's there. I don't know.
Press play on this, Lush. This is my little nephew at the mall beating the shit out of some kid. I looked him in the face and said, y'all bitches, y'all ain't hard. Y'all need to stay in school. That kid will beat the shit out of Lil Brazzy.
For sure.
He's
For
14.
sure. For sure.
Did you see him just grab a motherfucker, punch him in the face, throw him on the ground, and beat the shit out of him? So
that kid might be my ass, though, to be fair.
Right. I'm sorry. Like, if you look at this kid, there's nothing about this kid that's even remotely gangster, hard, tough, none of that. Like, it's almost inauthentic the way people are. It is inauthentic the way people are trying to, like, force this kid to be, or force people to accept this kid as something he's just not. He'll never be that.
Let's see what Prestige got to say.
It's a crazy situation.
Let's see what Prestige has got to say, because he is in the midst of so. You are live, Prestige. What's cracking? You're on the No Jumper show, or No Jumper News. What's going on, brother? So what is the deal? Are you currently managing Lil Brazzy?
No.
No. Were you ever officially his manager, or what's the deal?
About 2 to 3 months ago, I was.
Okay, so
but not not really, kinda. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 2 to 3 months ago, I was acting in capacity as a manager. Yeah.
So we saw a couple of days ago there we did a call in with the OTR staff, Bino and Scando. You feel me? Got the Bible on tuck just in case.
Blessings in the demon.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
That's his sciatica.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So they said that Lil Brazzy was no longer affiliated and he don't f with them, and he denounced gang banging, but now he's posting that he is and that he don't f with you. So what's really going on, bro? What is the current situation?
Well, I mean, he got dropped from the label, you know, but that was because he got dropped from the label because, you know, OTR is mainly Southside. And when we went to LA, you know, they wasn't feeling the fact that he was even, you know, at the studio and that he was around. And they felt like, you know, like, why would you even sign this little kid? And they were just, you know, kind of explaining a few things to me, like kind of when I seen the interview, like the clips of the interview, because mind you, I never watched the interview in full, but I did see like the clips of him dissing, you know, different gangs or whoever he was dissing, and you know, a lot of the different things. But
okay, I have a question for you, Prestige. So originally, you were super adamant about pushing this line that me and Adam told Lil Brazzy to diss the North and the South. How do you feel about that now?
So when I first seen it, I remember texting you, right? I asked you, I said, hey, bro, why'd you put this kid in this position? Now, this is because I was told by Lil Brazzy that you and Adam told him to say it, that it would get views. If he dissed the North, because apparently he was going to diss the North, that you guys told him that he's got to diss the other side in order to get the views. So he told me that you guys did it. So I immediately texted you, Lush, and I told you, why you think it's okay to put a kid in this type of position and put a big target on him. And
I was so confused by this guy's text, and then it wasn't until
wait a minute,
days later, he finally watched the interview.
Listen, man, listen, wait a minute, I smell some shit. This dude's talking about why would you guys put him in that position? You just said 2 seconds ago that y'all brought him to a studio with a bunch of Southsiders and all types of shit. Like,
this is after.
I understand. After he said,
be quiet. Let's keep going.
Wait, no. Listen, wait. No. I want to ask a real question about somebody. You going after Adam? I understand. This is what I'm trying to say. I understand how ignorance works. If he had dissed these dudes, why then would you take him to a studio with a bunch of these dudes around?
I've never seen the interview.
Okay, so he said he never saw the interview, and then when you did
That
see
shit was
it,
going crazy.
when you did see it, do you
Yeah,
still?
I only seen clips. I immediately seen the clips of him dissing the North and the South. They were like these little, those little AI clips where they put what people say, and it was just clips. And I was like, what the is this? At first, I thought it was fake. I thought it was like AI. And I look at it, and so I immediately hit him. I said, yo, bro, why did you say this on the interview? Like, this is bad. And
Okay,
that's
but
when
I do want to clarify. You no longer believe that, correct?
No, I don't believe that no more.
All right, because like that was that right there, understandably kicked up a lot of dust, and I'm glad that
you got to understand that was between you and OTR because they were upset with you about something else. So
yeah, obviously they have their issues with no job, which obviously, like, you know what I'm saying, has been going on for a while, like that. But with that being said, so right now, is Lil Brazzy an OTR artist? Are you still working with him? And what's next?
I'm not working with Lil Brazzy. No, is Brazzy an OTR artist? I'm not sure. They say that he's not, but then you got from my understanding, or from what I know, is that Solus gave up his percentage because he got pressed, and he got taxed. So he gave up his percentage to those other two gentlemen. That's like a GTR, OTR, whatever. Whoever those two dudes, the dude they had like Walmart outfits and they were pressed, and it was them dudes that I guess are taking them over, saying like, we can fix this, we can do this, we can do that.
Okay.
But all they're doing is just trying to have the kid promote, their music and their, blah blah blah. It's just all, what I'm saying.
It's almost like in a way, like they almost were like trying to set this kid up for like a big like fall. Like he said he never saw go ahead. We could sing together, but we can't talk together. Listen, you saying you never saw the video. Then you say you only saw clips, right? This went crazy when it happened. The idea that you're so closely connected to that kid and you never saw it, I'm calling cap on that. Dude, you do not take someone who has dissed somebody, because he clearly tried to explain why he
was I around, or did I know about the interview at all?
You were not in town.
What's this on the internet?
And that's why the whole thing is super confusing, and it's still
not
is
confusing at all. He said he did not see the interview, and then 2 seconds later said, "I only saw clips."
You gotta understand, I didn't see the interview.
Get on his ass, Brandon.
Listen, man. Why would you take a kid?
It was in members only, so I didn't see the interview, but I did see those clips that they were putting out.
People be doing screen records of members only, bro. Like that comes out. But what I'm saying, my point is this: the kid tried to explain the context in which he was saying what he said. And in my mind, I believe the kid was using a term that in his area has a different meaning than what it means here. Everyone knows that. Yes. But then you take the kid. There's zero reason for Little Brazzy, who's supposed to be a blood. He's not a Southerner or a Northerner. Why is he at a studio with a bunch of Southsiders who we know this guy? Well, I know his other manager didn't even know he did the interview, right? But the thing I'm saying is like, you're dealing with a child. So when you're dealing with a child, do you think they're going to take freaking some little black kid who's a rapper in a studio with a bunch of Crips and Bloods? No, you kind of deal with that on its own.
It's either going to be CPS or BPS who gets a hold of this kid.
They brought him to the studio, and
straight up.
Nobody had seen the interview or whatever until someone had let us know about the interview, and then that's when they pulled up the clips and they were just like, hey, this is what it is. All the Southsiders wasn't feeling it, and then they pressed Solus for even having him around.
But it's like you putting gang shit over money, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. When it come to money, all that shit melt away, bro. Like, it's like, yeah, he's a little kid. Him saying that means absolutely nothing to anyone on the streets.
Straight up.
It's like, can we get this bag? And then go like, and then the Southsiders will say, oh, we not making it in the music because the blacks. Nah, y'all not making it in music because y'all putting gang shit over money.
Well, I'm not going to blame the Southsiders.
I'm not blaming them,
I'm blaming
but I'm just saying.
Mismanagement across the board.
No, yeah, that's my question is, if you said you stopped working with him 2-3 months ago, how are you still involved in it now? Did he reach back out to you and ask for help, or did you see all this going on and reach out to him?
Yeah, he reached out and asked me for some help because you know him and his family wasn't doing too hot. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing too good. And you know what I'm saying? We're not even gonna bleed him on the podcast, but they just weren't doing too hot. So he called me and, you know, let me know that he needed a few things. So I went to go do that. Then, you know, he wanted to rap again. Solus just happened to want to sign him. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll bring him over there. You know, Solus asked me to go pick him up from Utah.
Sounds like trafficking of a minor across state lines, if I'm being completely honest.
Stop.
I'm just playing.
He trafficked himself because them little white boys brought him, right?
You know, they signed an agreement. You know what I'm saying? His mom was involved. His mom sent her ID, everything. Like his mom was involved. Like his mom knew what was going on. You know, he just reached back out and then, you know, I just helped him.
Lil Brazzy got a real fucking B Rabbit type story, if we're being completely honest. Like, I bet.
Yeah,
but B Rabbit would have run his fade at the damn fucking supermarket.
It's just really bad. Like all the little videos and all the little comments that he was making, it just had turned into something that nobody wanted to represent. So when we dropped him, you know, 2 to 3 months ago, he just called and asked for some help. And then he was in a worse situation than what he really was at that time. Because at that time, it wasn't as bad. You know, he could go to his grandma's. He can go to different places. This time, he was in a worse situation. So, you know, he just signed the deal to kind of get out of the situation, which is, you know, now they're extorting him for the deal and the advance and et cetera, et cetera.
He fucked up. His dad should have made some big successful movies back in the 70s and 80s like mine. He would be fine right now. With that being said, we appreciate your time, Prestige. You feel me? And we will chop it up soon.
Hey, if you really think about it though,
we're gonna clear up all the cap, right?
We
that
got
was in that interview, right?
I definitely want you to tell your entire side of the story. You feel me? I want you, because there's a lot of there's so much confusion, and I definitely don't think that right now there's enough time to even begin to unpack it properly. Brandon did ask some very good questions, and so did Donnie. So we'll
Who said that Prestige was his stepdad?
Yeah, okay. Break that down real quick.
Nah, Solus just said that he wanted Solus said he wanted the N-word pass. So he went and said that, you know, I gotta say that I'm his stepdad because I'm black and white. And I was like, yeah, I'm not saying that shit.
Oh, yeah. So you're the half black, half Puerto Rican guy you're talking about?
No, I'm not half Puerto Rican. I'm half black, half white.
That's what he said in the interview, though, right? That's what he said in the interview.
Yeah. I think he was like, he was just
throwing shit.
1/8 Chinese. He was part Hawaiian.
He's not half black. He's not half black. He's not from California anywhere. He's from North Ogden.
Oh, don't worry, we never believed that anyway.
Yeah,
he's an Aryan child. That's not none of that other stuff is real.
No,
God bless him.
He tried to tell me I'm half black. I said, yeah, right, bro. Like, I'm not trying to bring up race, but
and I'm gonna be honest, everything in that interview was definitely cap, you know, and there's people that are highly upset about the interview. You know, there's a couple people that, you know, especially when he said the stuff about his brother and the dude, you know, is no longer here. No, the dude is alive and well. It was actually his best friend. He's just
I'm just glad that the picture of his actual father came out, because my girl's brother was like convinced that was my son for a while. So I'm glad that his real father's
he's white.
Yeah.
But they just have to stop putting my name into it, like as if, oh, the manager and the da. Nah, they using that to clear up, you know what I'm saying, all the cap in that interview.
You are being scapegoated. The only one that the only one that's even talking to you right now is my brother Travis Ford. You feel me? So shouts to my dog Travis. Shouts to Whack.
To get the story out. You know, shout out to them. But you do have all the proof, so you do know that interview that they put out is cap. That's all we're gonna say, right?
The story will continue, and we will get more prestigious sakes. We appreciate you, brother.